Imagine witnessing the fulfillment of a prophecy written thousands of years ago. This is exactly what many believe is happening with the drying of the Euphrates River, an event that goes beyond environmental impact and echoes messages of an apocalyptic future. While scientists seek rational explanations, there are those who see in this phenomenon a clear sign that sacred words are coming to life. After all, could it be a coincidence that the river mentioned in biblical prophecies is drying up so dramatically? Now, think with me. What does this mean for us? Ignoring these events would be like turning a blind eye to something much bigger. This video goes beyond merely connecting the dots between the past and the present. It reveals truths that can transform your perspective on the world. If you are looking for answers about what is happening and how it could affect humanity, you are in the right place. Get ready to explore the impact of this phenomenon and how it relates to the prophetic words shaping our understanding of the future. The decline in the waters of the Euphrates River has been a widely discussed topic, and for good reason. This is not just a natural phenomenon, but an event that carries profound historical and spiritual symbolism. Imagine a river that was once the heart of a civilization, now reduced to dry beds and desolate landscapes. This raises questions. Is it merely a reflection of climate change, or is something much larger at play? It's like looking at an hourglass reminding us that time is limited and decisions are urgent. This river, which once irrigated the fertile lands of Mesopotamia, was the cradle of some of the world's first cities. The drying of the Euphrates directly affects people in the region, reducing crops and intensifying crises. Yet, at the same time, for many, it also resonates with ancient prophecies about the end of times. What other river could hold such layers of meaning, both physical and spiritual? The connection is undeniable. In today's context, we witness images of completely dry stretches, something once unthinkable. This transformation impacts not only the present, but raises questions about the future. After all, if history repeats itself, how will these changes affect future generations? It's a reflection that invites us to look beyond the surface and seek answers that transcend the obvious. But what makes the Euphrates so special? Its relevance goes beyond geography. It is a pillar in the narratives of sacred texts, pointed out as a marker of significant events. Its drying is not just an environmental challenge, but a warning that there is something deeper to observe. Just as the banks of this river crumble, other revelations begin to emerge, one of which concerns mysterious figures associated with this place. Among the mysteries surrounding the Euphrates River, few are as fascinating as the mention of the 4 fallen angels. According to some biblical interpretations, these beings are imprisoned in the depths of the river, waiting for the right moment to be released. Imagine the impact of this revelation. We are not just talking about legends, but about elements that form part of an apocalyptic storyline. For many, this is not merely a metaphor, but a warning about invisible forces at work in human history. The concept of imprisoned angels evokes a powerful reflection. Who are they, and why were they confined? Considering accounts such as those in the book of Revelation, these spirits were destined for a specific purpose, to be fulfilled at the right moment. It is almost like watching an epic play where each actor awaits their entrance on the global stage. This symbolism carries a weight that challenges our understanding and provokes curiosity. There are reports of mysterious sounds recorded in the dry bed of the Euphrates that many associate with these fallen angels. Could they be echoes of a spiritual reality that few dare to explore? For believers, these noises reinforce the idea that we are ever closer to a prophetic unfolding. For skeptics, these sounds could simply be natural phenomena or even human manipulation. Either way, the cultural and emotional impact is undeniable. Thinking about the stories of these angels, we are led to imagine an eternal conflict between the forces of good and evil. What role might they play in a possible ending of the world as we know it? These figures are not just characters from an ancient book. They are metaphors for universal dilemmas about freedom, justice, and redemption. However, questions remain. What will be the next act of this narrative, and what do the scriptures say about these events? It's time to seek deeper answers in the sacred words. The Holy Scriptures offer an impressive panorama of events associated with the Euphrates River and the fallen angels. In Revelation 9, there is a vivid description of 4 angels imprisoned, awaiting the exact moment to be released. This passage alone is enough to capture the imagination, but it also serves as a starting point for theological debates and varied interpretations. Each word seems to carry specific weight, as if there were a hidden message to be unveiled. The book of Jude complements this narrative, mentioning entities that did not maintain their original position and were confined in darkness until the day of judgment. This connection between different biblical passages reinforces the idea that the texts are part of a larger puzzle. Imagine studying each verse with the intent of deciphering clues about these events. For scholars and believers, this represents a unique opportunity to delve into deeper meanings. References to the Euphrates River are not limited to the book of Revelation. From Genesis, this river is cited as a boundary of the Garden of Eden and, later, as a landmark for the land promised to Abraham. These mentions not only establish the Euphrates as a central figure in biblical geography, but also as a symbol of divine promises and, paradoxically, warnings about the end of times. It is intriguing how a single element can hold so much meaning over the ages. For those observing current events through the lens of the Bible, the connection between what is written and what is happening is almost impossible to ignore. Revelation serves as a manual guiding interpretations of what many believe to be the conclusion of the divine plan. But how can these lessons be applied to the modern world? To do this, it is essential to look beyond the words and understand the context, something that leads us to consider surprising discoveries made by researchers along the banks of the Euphrates. Along the dry banks of the Euphrates River, researchers have found evidence that intrigues both scientists and the religious alike. One such discovery involves mysterious noises recorded in a deep well in an area that was once submerged. According to some reports, these sounds, which resemble dragging chains and moans, are interpreted as possible echoes of something supernatural. While skeptics might attribute this to natural phenomena, the impact these reports have on prophetic interpretations is undeniable. Archaeological investigations have also uncovered ancient structures and traces of civilizations long vanished. The history recorded at these sites demonstrates how the Euphrates has always played a crucial role, whether as the cradle of great empires or as the setting for biblical narratives. These findings offer a fascinating perspective. If even ruins can contain answers about our past, what can be said of the spiritual messages associated with this river? While some scholars point to the historical implications of these discoveries, others focus on what this evidence might mean for the future. The idea that archaeologists may have found a location associated with the fallen angels adds a layer of mystery to an already significant landscape. This connection between the visible and the invisible raises questions that transcend science and venture into the realm of the unknown. These discoveries challenge our understanding of the world and make us question the boundaries between the material and the spiritual. What is truly hidden beneath the sands and waters of the Euphrates? For believers, this evidence reinforces the biblical narrative and awakens a sense of urgency regarding the prophecies in Revelation. As scholars continue to explore, a larger narrative begins to form, suggesting that the end times may be closer than we imagine. Recent events related to the Euphrates River have been widely associated with the concept that we are approaching the end times. In the Bible, the book of Revelation describes scenarios that include droughts, mysterious sounds, and the release of imprisoned spiritual entities, all connected to the river. When analyzed alongside climate change and archaeological discoveries, these occurrences reinforce the idea of a convergence between the physical and the prophetic. Many people interpret the desertification of the Euphrates as more than an environmental phenomenon. For them, it represents the fulfillment of a divine timeline. The drying of the river, accompanied by reports of unusual sounds, is seen as a preparation for even greater events, such as the final battle known as Armageddon. It is as if the stage is being set for the final chapter of a story written millennia ago. However, it is not just the visible signs that have an impact, but also the way these events are being perceived by people around the world. Some see this as a call to reconnect with faith, while others see only coincidences and scientific explanations. Regardless of the perspective, the symbolism of these events cannot be ignored, and the biblical narrative continues to influence global cultures and beliefs. As events unfold, new questions arise. Are we prepared for what is to come? How do these signs connect to our own lives and daily choices? For believers, these questions are an invitation to a deeper reflection on humanity's role in this greater plan. Meanwhile, the world watches, waiting for the next chapter in a story that seems to be nearing its climax. Now that you have seen how the drying of the Euphrates River may be directly connected to biblical prophecies and what many believe to be signs of the end times, the question remains, what will you do with this information? Ignoring it is not an option, not when we are facing something that could change the course of history. Think about the impact these discoveries can have, not only on your life, but on how the world perceives seemingly natural events. If this content made sense to you, why not share it with others? After all, what may seem like mere curiosity to some may be the alert others need. And more importantly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to continue receiving deep insights on topics like this. With every video, there's a new opportunity to learn, reflect, and perhaps even transform your life with what is revealed.